Nísi niður nefið upp fimbulrúnir. The TM technique is easiest and most effective, natural and easily learned, transcendental meditation scientifically proven by hundreds of researchers. Óðsmál research is supported by the Ministry of Culture and Education. Óðsmál for Burns, 14th skræða. Svinnur, vín Valföðurs, Valföðursvæn. Gungnir, Glaðheimar. Freyjukettir, norræn menning. Research since 1990. Óðsmál also available online, YouTube. Search Goyagodi. Books available on Amazon. Search Óðsmál or search Freyjukettir. Val, Sanskrit val, means to go home, come near, hurry. Also to return, come back home. Gungnir means vibrations. Glaðheimar, widening of individual consciousness to gladness, width. Vín Valföðurs, flow of wisdom, meant for everybody. Consciousness unir við, eternally enjoys, this flow alone. Geiri undaður, opened up by spear. Und is a flow, word stem út, und, actually same word as vatn, water. Yppir óðinn svipum fyrir sig tífa sonum. We now see all. Have the scholars understood this phrase? When we go to Glaðheimar, nýsumst niður, transcend, or skýrnir touches us by Tam's wonder to allow us to see, we gain insight, intuition. Álfheimar opens up for us. We might realize that nature is a whale, hula, who covers for us reality. We might call it Maya. Symbolic language and allegory veils the profundity. Inherent truth is not obvious at all. We should perhaps not explain the hidden truth for the ignorant man who is not prepared for the understanding. In Iceland we have a history of 1,000 years of imprinting wrongs. The ignorant, brainwashed man might see only stupid stories. He might simply laugh. He might even think that drepin Tam's vendi would be a threat, coaxing violence. Drepin Tam's vendi means touched by charms to see. This is from Skýrnismál. Gerður now sees as a pure man. The ignorant, brainwashed man might look at our heritage by the disdain imprinted by churchianity. Then he will not understand any profundity of meaning. We will not be wise by learning words. Words without understanding are thin, baseless. We could learn all systems in the world, terms from institutions who claim to be the best, but we would not be wise. Our forni siður, evolving with us in our land according to the laws of nature here, will be the best for us to understand and live. It is our culture and heritage, our roots. The wisdom is practical and much needed today for our spiritual evolution, for our culture, for our well-being, health and peace. Nista, Sanskrit, means to be firmly grounded in life in Ginnungagap. Nista eg niður, nista. To reach that stage, we water our own roots, done by transcending. Without roots in eternity, we are like withered leaves in the wind, blown off the ash. Some systems have been used for dominance, even made exclusively for that purpose. The true core and essence of truth has been abused, hardly found there any longer. The goal of man's lifespan is to become enlightened. This is the core and essence that never must get lost. Nothing else is important. We can have fun in life, but to understand the purpose is the only we should seek. We should not live simply to enjoy the Gungnir in ymir vibrations in the world. Not only live for the gemisgull, material gold in gemisgarðar, we should place spiritual evolution above all, my dear Martha. The easiest achievement of every individual is to be an einari, fully alive, an enlightened man, living Valhöll. Then the little things in life become all fun, and skuld will be taken lightly. Anything less than enlightenment is an abnormal state of a man. Enlightened first, then. We are not like a ship without a course on the surface of Ægir. Our ancient knowledge is all about the purpose of life. We are also taught how to use our lifespan wisely. What is to be cherished? The goal. How to reach it? What is to be gained by that is also taught here. We only need to be literate on the directions, the how to use. All parents need to have access to the knowledge. Heaven is theirs. Every man has to take his next step from the spot on which he is now. Ríkstula is all about that. We are on our spiritual path. We should have good information on how to get as quickly as possible to Valhöll, our true home. We are coming home. Óðsmál are here to wake us up from our drómi and læðingur, sheer necessity for every band today, when Satyuga is coming, to greet and strengthen our Satyuga. The knowledge and the technique shall be available for all who wish to accept it. How many have chanted Óðsmál without understanding runatal, Vísur 138 and on, and ljóðin? How often have scholars explained for others what they misunderstood themselves? Now is about time for everyone to understand the abyss of meaning. It has been rediscovered and explained for us who now live. Fully awake, we hnísumst niður, nose down, in ginnungagap, and so we reach the fourth stage of consciousness. We know waking stage, deep sleep, REM, that's rapid eye movements, dream, the three lowest and best known stages. Fake, really. And now the fourth, unbounded tranquility, unbounded dynamism, perfect orderliness. The fourth is Bifrost and Bylrost bridge to the higher stages. Everyone should learn and practice the technique to nísast niður, transcend the tríguna of nature, the bossy þursamegir þrír. We, by that, gradually regain mýmir, the memory of all, of who we really are. We are consciousness, ginnungagap. We take a sip of Valföður's hunangsmjöður, honeymead, flow of wisdom, flow, movement, Edda, inherent in ginnungagap, the ever-moving within itself. Ægir is the abyss moving within itself. It is perfect order, ránar regla. Flow, mjöður, vín, wine, symbolic. Jesus' wine is also symbolic. This flow of life is nourishing. Something is served here. Eldir and fimafingur wait on us in ægir, serve in consciousness. Eldir cooks, prepares. Fimafingur swiftly brings what we need. Note that every term, every name has a profound meaning. We shall understand all names. We admire our universe, expanding, evolving, but know not that we only have Gungnir, vibrations, and Ymir, sound, in all his glory. Some do not know that our physiology is of the same intelligence as universes. This intelligence is inherent in the sons of the Veda, and we are ægir, consciousness. We are nowhere taught the science of life. We might look into it only to see nothing. The flaw, we are not taught how to do research in our own consciousness. We cannot look into the matter, as it is not visible matter. Neither do our eyes nor our technically evolved devices perceive beyond Planck scale. Eternity is unbounded, widest gleði, gladness, width. We are it and we look inside. Lands, stars, systems, institutions, men on earth, worlds, universes come and go, but ginnungagap neither comes nor goes. Nothing happens to it at Ragnarök. Even if hið aldna tré moans our old tree, Askur Yggdrasils. What is mjötuður? What is mjötviðurmær? Wherever we do research in the creation, we find only Gungnir. Even our bodies are only Gungnir. We are almost 100% gap. Gungnir is fleeting, non-stable, ever-changing. All our lifespan we recreate our physiology, perpetually. We take vibrations for being matter. Ratio, uncreated energy, created energy, and what we call matter, the 5 elements. Healthy sounds, waves, have healthy effects, correlating in sync. Gungnir amplifies, or we have sound waves not in harmony, which cancel each other out. Gungnir is on the sphere of þursamegir þrír, tríguna, the 3 qualities of our ámátt, our born nature, mighty, born in the very beginning. Men easily nísast niður, transcend, to find their own origin, the origin of all there is. Man finds sjálfan sig gefin sjálfum sér, himself given to himself. Each and every our lifespan should be used for the purpose of life. It is unimaginably precious to be born as a man. We should understand the purpose and goal of human life. Here we have the Maharshi effect, creating coherence and harmony at the collective level of nations, a chart from global country. Men who think and act from pure consciousness reach all our world, besides the sheer beauty of their thoughts always being evolutionary. The last part of Óðsmál is all about what actually happens when we transcend to pure consciousness for a while. Unbounded bliss, integrating universal consciousness. We nemum upp, imbibe, become fróð, fræðumst, blossom in the world. According to Rígur, wherever we are on our path of spiritual evolution, we need to learn the easy technique to fly, soar, perfectly pure, in the skies of our own consciousness. Our human thoughts are of this world, Gungnir only. The mind of a coarse man is weak, his thoughts not connected to the origin. Thoughts of the pure man, einherji, are powerful, nourished from the origin of all, the basis of thought. We should, wherever we are on our path, seek to purify each thought. We have a free urður, free will, a choice for every act. This human faculty brings great responsibility to man. Einherjar only enjoy thoughts that are evolutionary and supporting to life. When a group of us transcends together, using the TM and the TM City techniques, City, Sanskrit, accomplish, fulfill, perfect. A powerful flow of thoughts from pure consciousness synchronizes. Skill in profound thinking. Divar in the entire universe are awakened to life. When flying sutra, Sanskrit thread, weaving, seamith, is practiced, the effects in the surroundings are measurable. Scientific term, the Maharishi effect. Consciousness is a field, one field, unified field of total natural law. Google Global Union of Scientists. Man can now easily wage peace. The technique is at hand. Easily enjoy supporting nature in every our action. Easily can fyllt okkur friður hvar sem við förum lönd. We, like Iser, can bring peace wherever we are, whatever lands we dwell in. When we learn and practice the technique of consciousness, we can do this. If we really want to know the feeling being at home, we find that feeling in Hnitbjörg of Gunlöð. She is hospitality and luring into our inner cave. Her abode is within, much brighter than the sun in the sky. When we practice going here every day, Hnitbjörg become brighter and brighter. Rati has drilled wormholes. Wormholes is physics. We swiftly take on the guise of a worm, bregðum okkur í ormslíki. We are most welcome to bergja á, imbibe, drink, as much wisdom as we wish. 3 nætur, 3 nights, is no actual time, as time is not here. We enter as an ormur, worm, leave as an örn, eagle. We need to do a little bit. The knowledge will not be raining down from the outside. Praying and waiting is a waste of a lifespan. Bölverkur is Odin, actually means one who perforates, punches, makes hole, goes through. Sanskrit stem bit. Each one of us sjálfur, self, has to be bölverkur. No intermediaries. Sjálfur, ætíð, leið þú sjálfan þig. Thou shalt always lead thyself. That is what the technique is for. Rubber valkyrjur are fakes. Þjóðvitnir, skræða for, claims lots of that waste of time to be around. The TM technique is natural to mind. When we strain, we get nowhere. To contemplate, concentrate, try to stop thinking will only keep you in thoughts. World's wild actions. We can never be grounded, nista, in world's Gungnir. It is ever flickering. Gungnir is only all worldly vibrations. Weapon of consciousness, the spear of Odin, comes in handy to transcend, to sow us into ásgarður. Weapons are really good when we know how to handle them. A certain Gungnir, sound mantra, charms the mind to be pending. It hangs. Fimbulrúnir are not in shop shelves, neither are stinnir stafir, but we might try to find that in hlið skjálf. Skjálf is shelf, a refined vibrating realm. All the most important is available within, in man's own consciousness. The unenlightened perceive only Gungnir, claim that stuff to be for real. Our senses do not perceive vín Valföðurs, which is the sap in Askur Yggdrasil's invisible flow. The sap of Askur becomes roots, trunk, branches, leaves, fruit, seeds. We should also remember that Vie hides Odin and Vili. Chandas, Vie, is of Sanskrit stem chat, which means to cover, to hide. By all means do not get caught up in the mistake of our intellect. Do not forget the nourishment in Ginnungagap. Connect to consciousness, so evolve. Nature is a well, hula, only Gungnir. We see her, but see not vín Valföðurs, which she covers, hides, hylur, by which she gets all nutrition, actually that which she is in essence. We do not see the sap, vín, wine, the flow, mjöðurinn, the meat, that all is in essence. When we become enlightened, then we shall perceive this. We need to know and really understand that we should never violate the laws of nature. Always live in flow with them. Take no more from nature than needed. We can make this behavior to become our lifestyle. That is easy and it pays off. To go to the feast to drink of vín Valföðurs By taking a trip to Glaðheimar, plunge into Ægir, his feast is prepared and awaits us. Visit Gunlöð in Hnitbjörg, get lured and invited to the Supreme. Seek only the Supreme. Löð means invitation and hospitality. Gun, Guð, or Gunnur, battle. We only kill what can be killed. Truth. Our truth abides hidden in Hellir, a cave. To regain truth, man should live í sátt við God, live in accord with the laws of nature. No Ginnungagap to be the only. There is unity, wholeness. Do not worship one Guð out of context. All is one whole. Waste of time to worship the worldly. Thoughts, prayers, intense feelings do not suffice. Our strength is in consciousness. We shall only contact ourselves to find it. Flow of Valföður shall always flow in human life. That is good life. Our Urður creates our world. Thought, action, word is Urður. Beware of man-made systems and institutions who claim to know all. An all-worldly making could be the making of ignorant men. Systems distract us, blind some. Systems are mistaken for truth, which they are not. We can end up in a cage that has mirrors instead of windows. We see out through windows, and the windows let in light. The field of all possibilities is sheer bliss to contact. We can create anything. All is within, in our very consciousness. We shall pay reverence to our forefathers and their forni siður, and appreciate the timeless wisdom contained herein. Generation after generation, for thousands of years, we preserved it. To revere is not the same as flattered for. Don't flatter. Pay reverence with dignity and love. Suffering has no right to be. To worship suffering is the worst of all. Sick, sickening. Perfection is the only right. That we gain by contacting Ginnungagap. Consciousness given to consciousness. Óðinn, I, given to Óðinn. Ég, gefin sjálfum mér. Our only right condition is the purity of enlightenment. Nothing less is acceptable for a human being. Until enlightenment is gotten, we cannot bear the name a man. Seek the highest. Sin will be happy. Sin, scribe number 6. Natvarja and NS Rajaram. Here in the middle, from the Gunderdrup-vessel. Industal stamp. Archaeological findings, perhaps 10,000 years old or even more. Read the book, The Deciphered Indus Script. Methodology, readings, interpretations. Natvarja and NS Rajaram. Note the mirroring of the cast and clay plates, the molds and the outcome. The snake on the Gunderdrup is Karkotaka, listening, according to Devdu Patanaik. Brahman, Ginnungagap, is truth uttered by Compare Óðinn's name, Ómi. Three phases of the one, Ishvara, Pashupati, Fjár, Fadir, Freyr. The animals are not animals, they are our höfuðskepnur, main created, the 5 elements. Freyr is father of Fé. Runes Fé and Ursus, ox, are the runes of Freyr. The horns on Ishvara are not horns, they are Natvarja and NS Rajaram. Modern artist playing with the Gunderdrup-vessel's figures. Höfuðskepnunar, the main created, the elements, are here. I assume that the artist had not the least notion of that. And the horns, did he have the faintest idea of what they are? Tea and governors need not be enlightened, they only have to keep the knowledge pure and unaltered, understand intellectually and teach and explain according to the ancient methods. Nature provides for everything for us from the underlying field, and I skal gjöf til gjalda, we shall give back for received gifts. We accept from her the bounty. By Nisa niður we nourish all life. This is meðmar, equally given back. Our good form, what we bring to the feast. When we become einherjar, Mother Nature provides for all our needs even unasked. We do not need to have desires and longings any longer. One man alone transcending, Nísast niður, does good to himself. Many transcending together, Nísandi niður together, give to the surroundings and spread harmony to the whole world. Yoga chitta briti nirodha, least excited state of mind. When we unite, yoga, in consciousness, mind comes to its most quiet state. Irmin sul, found in many places all over the globe, has 3 rætur, 3 roots, blossoms into life on earth, man's life. It is ancient. To fórna, bring, own consciousness in Ginnungagap, is to give a present, fórn, to the feast of joy. We ourselves are the gift. We fórnum, our beloved thought, our much cherished individual consciousness. Mind expands to the boundless field, the origin of all there is. Here we find our real self, self, all knowledge and all wisdom there is. Óðsmál for Burns 40 skræður are the key to the allegory and symbolic language. We now gain the understanding of the heritage handed over from our forefathers. We now get to know where we are born, what the purpose and goal of man's lifespan is. We now fathom the profound beauty of our spiritual heritage. Óðsmál is the key to the epics spiritual Edda, ancient Norse heritage myths and poems, profound science of consciousness, allegory, symbolic language, 81. Knowledge cannot be given by anyone. The pupil gains the knowledge from within himself. He is consciousness where all wisdom and knowledge abides. Höllin eina allra sagna, the one and only palace of all bedtime stories.